It's been a while since I've been on set on like a film or a show. I've done things, little things here and there, like commercials and things like that. Nothing like too crazy. But the thing that you really don't have with promotional work or commercials, at least on the indie scale, is you really don't have a full crew to organize. But a big thing of getting those people organized is saying rolling or sound speed or whatever terminology that you may run into. Like if you're a camera person or a cinematographer, you're saying rolling because it comes back to the rolling of reels of film. And then sound speed, I'm not sure the origin of that. I should know that because I say it all the time when I was on set. Regardless, in this video, we're going to be talking about syncing up your files from your audio source to your video source. And there's a bunch of ways to do it. There's many layers to it, and there's many ways to get that job done. But the point of it is get your audio and your video synced up so you don't sound or look like a dummy. But before we get into that, if you have any questions, comments, or anything whatsoever based on syncing up videos or tech related to that, or the software related to it as well, please leave it down in the comments section down below. I'll be happy to answer any questions based on that, tech gear, anything whatsoever. Just make sure it's constructive and cordial and just be nice. And if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or anything whatsoever, please leave a like and consider subscribing. So this video is just going to cover the basic and old school way of syncing up your video to your audio. And of course, if you're recording your audio into your camera right away, like if you have your camera set up with a mic on top of it, you're not going to have to do this. You're not going to have to sync up your audio because the audio is already running with your camera. This is for people that are in, let's say, indie productions or some type of production that has your audio device and your video device separate. And you got to bring it into a software, Premiere Pro for this example, and have to align them in a way that they don't look choppy and don't look weird, because you don't want weird video and audio. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the tech. Let's talk about what goes along with this. I have a Zoom F6. I have my Canon 77D with a newer mic on top of it. This could apply to any audio device and any camera. I'm just giving you the example that I have. So what I do in every video, every single time I press record on both devices, I say clap sync, and that spike is where I look to align my video and my audio. Now, the audio device, my Zoom F6, has just audio files, obviously, duh. The camera, on the other hand, if you remember, because I know I have forgotten to turn it on, has both video and audio because it's running them both simultaneously. Most of the time with a production, the mic on the camera, especially in indie applications, isn't that good. It's not as good. Like the newer on the camera right now is not as good as this Rode Pod mic. Also, the fact that it's closer to my mouth and it's going to get better audio just by proximity. So using that spike, we line them up and make sure that everything is in sequence and good to go. You could do this for anything. I say a clap sync because I don't have any need for a clapper. If you ever see the old school clappers on film sets, I've actually been once or twice a clapper on a film set, doubling as the audio person, boom operator, all that stuff. So I really miss that. It's been a while, and it's been a long hiatus. Unfortunately, the hiatus is not self-induced. It's just pandemic-induced. But regardless, this goes back to the old school days of having a clapper, and it's still done today. It's old school in the sense that it's been done for a long time. Now, I know that most editing softwares have a sync function, so a synchronize from your video audio to your audio. But sometimes it gets a little bit wonky, meaning that if it's not perfect and the microphones are not picking up similar frequencies, like if your camera audio is like around something that's maybe obstructing the sound in a way that it could mess up the synchronization, that could be a problem. But the thing that is constant is the clap. That will allow the software to recognize something distinct. So now that we got the hardware out of the way, let's get into the software. And right now we're in Adobe Premiere, and we're picking up, if I didn't realize, the last video I put out, making bins and all that stuff. Might not be the last video, but the last Adobe video I put out talked about making bins and all this stuff. We're picking up right after that, basically following me along in my editing process. So first off, let's add our audio. First off, let's add our video, because I'm a dummy and I can't speak and put the words and things together. So I lay these things in, give it a little bit of space in between so you got some wiggle room for the sync. Okay, now we got all our video. I keep trying to say audio because this is syncing audio, I guess. I got all the video in there. And now we're going to add in the audio right underneath it. So the first track is our camera audio, and our second track is our audio. I know it sounds silly, but that's how I make sense of it. Expand those so you can see the wavelengths, so it makes it a little easier. But here's the thing. If it works right and if it synchronizes fine, you really don't need to see the waveforms. But I'm a paranoid person and I'm worried all the time that things are not done right. Okay, so next up, this is the easy part. Right click and synchronize. This synchronization is for getting these together, and it processes it. Let's see if it actually does. This stuff right here, you can specify what you want to do, but I just go select the two things that I want to synchronize and let it go. All right, so now that it's synced, you make it bigger and you try to figure out if it's just right. Here's your clap sync here. I'm going to mute these because I don't want to hear myself in stereo. See the claps? There we go. That means it worked. Hands reach together. And it's kind of hard sometimes because there might be a slight millisecond delay, but as long as these two things are lined up, like you could see, maybe... Let's give it a listen. And don't put them both at the same time because then it sounds weird. You can if you want. Close enough. Okay. Now that you understand that, this next one, we are going to do it the old school way of just lining it up. So you do is basically this is what it's processing in the program, but we're going to do it by hand manually. And of course, if you don't have the audio on your camera recording and you still do the clap sync, this is salvageable, which I'm going to do in the next example, but let's do this first. Okay, so there's the clap. What I like to do is give myself a little bit of some reference there, and it's zoomed in as much as I can. And that looks pretty close. You try to go a second before and after. It's not going to be exact, but milliseconds, you're not going to really notice the difference. And what you're going to do is unmute that. Make sure. Cool. That's synced up. Now, one more example. Let's say, for argument's sake, this file has lost its audio for whatever reason. Any reason. Could be corrupted, whatever it is, but you still have the video. Find the clap. That's the clap. Now you got to find the clap in the video. What I like to do is get this open as best I can. And if you didn't know, you can use the wheel on your mouse. Found this out accidentally. A lot of things I found on Premiere accidentally. And you could go second by second like that. So that's where my hands meet. Lead the cursor there. Not the cursor, the timeline thingy. Technical term. I don't remember the name of that. And you know where your clap is. And basically, just like if it was a clap on an audio file, use that as a reference to sync up. That looks like it's pretty spot on. Now let's see if it works. It's pretty good, right? Okay. Those are 3 ways that you could sync up your video. And of course, there are plenty more with time codes and lining up the line out from your audio device to your camera, but we're not going to get into that. Maybe one day if I get a fancy camera that has that functionality, then maybe. All right, so that is how you sync up video and audio in Premiere Pro and pretty much in any software that you're going to be editing your video and audio. It's a simple concept, but a lot of people have trouble with it, and this is a foolproof way. I showed you 3 different ways to do it. Using the Synchronize option in Adobe, using your eyes, which can be done in any program or any failsafe that doesn't have Synchronize software in it, and the old school way, very old school way, if you're doing a silent film, not a silent film, a film that has no audio coming out of the camera. Some of your high-end cameras don't have audio inputs, like you can't hook up a mic to the camera. It's very rare, but chances are people watching this video, you guys are going to be having access to these things. So some last minute words of advice: make sure your audio is on your camera so you don't have to worry about doing it that weird way, trying to find the clap and match it up. Another thing is just make sure you do it. If you do a clap sync, sure, it's unnecessary if everything works right, but good luck having everything work right every time. So this is good practice, and if you plan on getting into film, it's used all the time. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked that video, please hit the like button down below and consider subscribing for more videos like this, more tips and tricks. If you have any tips and tricks videos in mind for me to cover, if I can do it, I will be happy to do it. And if you have any comments, suggestions, like I said, anything whatsoever, leave it down in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to talk to you guys. I really enjoy our conversations together. It's been really fun and nice to talk to people on this channel and in this community. We are growing. And you can talk to me more directly on Twitch and on this channel every Saturday afternoon. About an hour on this channel, I hang out, and then I switch over to my Twitch channel, as I said, twitch.tv/ghettohappy. Please give me a follow over there. It'd be greatly appreciated. I'm trying to build that as well along with this channel. And as always, be safe, be kind. If you go out, please wear a mask. And of course, I will see you in the next video.
Evie, don't do me like that. Don't give the twerking. Don't be twerking on Big Ben. Stop twerking on Big Ben! Stop it! Good God, girl. I'm all about if you got it, shake it, but come on, man.